I think one of the interesting thing is that he does focus a lot on the church's afflictions, and one of the things he says is that the great benefit of the Book of Lamentations is that it allows us to look at the worst possible case scenario. So it couldn't get worse than this. There's a complete devastation, destruction in the land, but most of all, the temple's wiped out. So all the ordinances, everything connected with God's worship is just removed, and not just removed, at that moment in time, but for posterity, as far as they knew. And so that's, as I say, the worst possible case scenario. And the Dickson says that's what you need to do with the Book of Lamentations. You need to look at that and take a look at that in the cold light of day and say, that's what could happen. And you need to prepare yourself then for afflictions that might happen. You need to prepare yourself for further decline, potentially, of the church, but you need to work and pray and act in behalf of the church and take seriously the way in which decline leads to further decline and how these things can suddenly happen. And it is kind of strange in a way how we've lived through this pandemic, and in different churches, different nations, the churches have had to close. I'm speaking to you from Scotland, and today they've
Right.
published legislation that makes that orders the churches to close by law, and makes it a criminal offence, to attend public worship, for the first time, as far as I can see in history.
Mhm.
So Dixon talks about these things. How should we respond to that? He says that this is the worst thing that could happen, that God could just decide to remove something that is the dearest thing to him and the thing that gives him most glory. Why would God do that? Why would he take away his worship? And he says, well, it's only if he's not getting the glory that he ought to be getting by it, which is, it really brings you up short when you read some of these things and in the context of where we're at. And um, you know, I'm not taking it, too far. People can draw their own conclusions, but it really just certainly tries to make it certainly makes you think about what's happening, and the significance of it.